Unless you're dying to live at your parents' place forever, you have to learn to save money. But let's just be honest, our generation is terrible at it. Most of you aren't interested in saving money, while others of you don't even know where to start. Sadly, half of college students save less than 1% of their income. Saving money is a crucial step in becoming wealthy. The key is you have to be intentional. Saving money doesn't just happen. You have to happen to it. The first step is easy. Just open a basic savings account for short-term savings. It doesn't matter if your parents give you money or you have a part-time job. A portion of the money coming in needs to go straight into savings. If you grasp how important saving money is now, it will completely change your life.
7 baby steps. That's what it takes. I'm going to be the first to tell you it isn't always easy. It's seldom easy, but it's always worth it. Whether you're a college student who's just getting started or whether you're already retired, these steps work. They've changed millions of people's lives when they instituted them into their life. And they can change yours too. Baby step 1 is a beginner emergency fund. Get $500 in the bank quickly. Sell some stuff on eBay. Work some extra hours. Get your emergency fund started right away because emergencies are going to happen. But if you're ready for them, they won't take you out and cause you to have to quit school. Hey, remember, you got 2 goals. Stay out of debt, stay in school. So get the emergency fund as fast as you can and then save up for a big pile of cash for next semester's tuition. Once you've got $500 in the bank and tuition's covered, move on to baby step 2. Baby step 2 is the debt snowball. First, list all your debts, smallest to largest, and then make minimum payments on all of them except the little one and attack the little one with a vengeance. When your smallest debt's gone, take that payment, roll on down the list. As you pay off one, you go to the next one. Keep working your way down. Each time another debt is paid off, the snowball rolls over, it picks up more snow, you got more money to attack the next one down. Go down the list until all of them are paid off, and then you're debt free. Some of you aren't in debt right now. Way to go, guys. You're already ahead of the game. You can do baby steps 1 and 2 while you're still in school. After you graduate, you want to beef up your emergency fund, and baby step 3 is the fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. Start with your $500 from baby step 1 and keep piling on the cash. You're going to need it, I promise. Then you move on to baby step 4, where you set aside 15% of your income for retirement savings into a 401k or a Roth IRA in good growth stock mutual funds. If you've got kids at that point, you start saving for their college. That's called baby step 5. Baby step 6 is paying off your home early. If you don't have a home at that point, that's when you save up, pay cash if you can. That'd be a great way to go. The last baby step is baby step 7. This is where it really gets fun. You get to build wealth and give a bunch of it away. Those are the 7 baby steps. That's a proven plan for financial fitness. It works for everyone. The numbers adapt to fit your particular stage in life, but the principles are still there. Live on a plan, avoid debt, and save for the future. But it takes time, and it's hard. The good news is it works every single time.
Baby step 1, quickly, I want you to get $1,000 in the bank. Or you could just put it in the underwear drawer if you want. You know, you can store it anywhere you want to store it. But the trick is this, you got to put it someplace where you can't get to it too easy. So maybe the underwear drawer won't work, because maybe the pizza man will get your money. No, the pizza man's not going to be in your underwear drawer, but I know what happens. I know what happens. He comes to the front door and says, ding dong, the pizza's here. And you go, ooh, this is an emergency. So you got to put it where you can't get to it too easily, but you also got to put it where you can get to it if you need it, because it is there just for emergencies. Most people can do this in a month, and you need to do it really, really fast. Baby step 1 is the easiest baby step, and baby step 1 is the hardest baby step. It's the easiest baby step because it's only $1,000. By the way, if you make under $20,000 a year in your household, mark through that and make it $500, because I want you to do this really, really quickly. So again, it's the easiest because it's a small amount of money. You have a big garage sale, you work a little extra, boom, you can get this thing done right now in 1 month. Knock that one out. Some of you already have $1,000. You're going, check that off, I'm ready to move on, right? Now here, it's the hardest baby step though, because it means you've got to decide if you're going to climb this ladder or not. You've got to decide, am I going to take these steps? Am I going to change my behaviors? And when you make that decision, it's a big deal. Because I'll tell you this, human beings do not like change. We drive the same way to work every day, on the same road. We wear the same clothes all the time if we're not careful. But here's the deal, we don't like change. Even if what we're doing is not working, we're proud of our stupidity. You know, we become defensive of our mess, don't we? We're like a toddler sitting in a poopy diaper. Yeah, I know it smells bad, but it's warm and it's mine. We are defensive of our mess. Even if it's not working, we don't like change. So this is when you decide if you're going to change or not. This is when you make the decision. So it's the hardest baby step because you got to face you. You got to look in the mirror and go, you're the problem. And when you do that, then you start to win with money. See, what we're talking about here is that savings must become a priority, not an intellectual discussion, because I've never interviewed somebody that says, no, I think savings is dumb. I think saving money is a really dumb idea. I've never heard people say that. But everybody talks about it and no one does it. This is where you actually have to learn to decide to pay yourself first. You need to learn to give, save, and then pay bills.
You're listening to The Dave Ramsey Show. We appreciate you joining us, America. Up next is going to be Megan. Megan is 20 years old. She's a sophomore in college and in Nashville, Tennessee. Hi, Megan. What's up?
Hey, Dave. I'm wondering if I should have two different savings accounts. One for my emergency fund and one for things like tuition and other stuff.
Yes. You should always have two savings accounts separate from your emergency fund. So you have your emergency fund that is only used for an emergency, and then your other savings account can be used for other savings items. Tuition would be a really good example of that. But if you're also saving up to buy new tires, you could put that in that same account with the tuition account. But keep your emergency fund always completely separate, because that gives you that mental jog, that mental, if you get ready to go use your savings for something that's not an emergency. And you go, wait a minute, now that's the emergency fund. It makes you stop and go, wait, buying a new couch is probably not an emergency. And so you don't invade that space. You want to be sure you keep them completely separate, your emergency fund and your other savings. Great intuition on your part, Megan. Good thinking there. Go with what your gut was telling you. I appreciate you joining us. Thanks for calling The Dave Ramsey Show.
You've got to make it a priority. Let's kind of talk about it this way. How many of you in here have children? Raise your hand. Once I get your hand up, keep it up. Now, if you have children, how many of you, keep your hand up. If you don't have children, how many of you hope to someday? Or there's a child anywhere on the planet you kind of like? Okay, now that's just about everybody, right? So stay with me here. Now, you can put your hands down, but let's pretend for a second that a disease had broken out. That would be awful. And there was a vaccine that was needed to save the life of your child. And that vaccine was going to cost $5,000 cash, and you had to save $5,000 cash by the end of the year. You had to save $5,000 cash by 6 or 8 months from now. And you couldn't go get it. You had to change your behaviors and save money. If it meant the life of your child, how many of us could find and save $5,000? One lady's like, which kid? But we could do it. All that means is this. Now, obviously, that we didn't give you a raise. We didn't give you a budgeting technique. We didn't give you some magic pill to make you rich. You changed your priorities. In that horrible, macabre example, you looked at it and you said, if I had to, I could do it. If it became important enough to me, I could do it. You would reprioritize your life. Let me tell you what, that's when people start saving money. When it becomes important, and it's important. Saving money as a way of life is an exercise of character. It's an exercise of emotion. It's absolutely vital. You know what a negative savings rate means? That means we are spending more than we make. Hello. That's not hard to figure out, is it? We're spending more than we save. We're eating into our savings every year. We have a negative savings rate. That's got to change as a culture, or we're going to fail. Saving money is about emotion, and it's about contentment. When we use that example of the vaccine with a child, your emotion gets you, and you say, I can do this. Ooh. And it's also about contentment. It's about, you know what, I don't have to impress you. I don't have to buy something to feel good about myself. It's okay to get me some stuff, but I'm just going to be okay where I am, because it's more important for me to be able to have some savings to go to college, send my kids to college, to retire with dignity, to change my family tree, to have some stability for the first time ever in our household. That's more important than buying that thingy. And I'm not against thingies, but there's a process here that you've got to engage in. It has to become very, very important. And our parents never talked about savings much. For that matter, in a lot of households, parents didn't talk about money, did they? Our parents didn't talk about money and they didn't talk about sex. We figured they had neither. Turns out they had both. And so we got to talk about this out loud. We got to say savings matters. You know, according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute, 58% of American workers have never even calculated what it'll take for them to retire with dignity. And 59% said they hope to have a standard of living equal or better to their working years. Now listen to this. 58% have never run a calculator or look at it, but 59% have hope of being better. What kind of stupidity is that? That's total disconnect in the way we're looking at money, in the way we're handling money. It doesn't work. Well, if I save money and I do the stuff you teach, I'm going to become rich and evil. And if I have money, I'll be an evil rich person. Yeah. There's a plan. But haven't we gotten this disconnect going there, seriously, where we think that everybody that's got money is evil or something? Sometimes we watch too much TV, I think. You know, the truth about money is that money is amoral. That means it doesn't have morals. It's not good and it's not bad. It doesn't make decisions. It functions based on what you or I do with it when we touch it. When we put it in the hands of a human is when we see it change. Now, it's kind of like this brick. This brick is amoral. I can take this brick and throw it through a plate glass window. Or I can take this brick and build a hospital or a home for unwed mothers. I can take this brick and build a clinic in a neighborhood that doesn't have one. The brick doesn't care. It's just a brick, but when you put it in the hands of a human, it starts taking on life, and then we say, oh, that guy's got a bunch of bricks, he must be evil. Or that one has no bricks, he must be good. And we start making these judgments, it's just a brick. Let me tell you, I have met rich people who are total greedy jerks. Have you? Say yes. Yes. I have met poor people that are total greedy jerks. Have you? Yes. I've met poor people that are some of the most godly people on the planet, haven't you? Yes. I've met some rich people that are absolutely incredible human beings and do all kinds of cool things with their wealth and are some of the most godly people on the planet, haven't you? Yes. You see, it's not the money, is it? If you're a jerk and you've got bricks, or you're a jerk and you haven't got bricks, you're still a jerk. Money is amoral. You're not bad because you've got some. You're not good because you don't. It doesn't work that way. It's just money.
Coming up next is going to be Kim. She's a sophomore in college, 20 years old, calling from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey, Kim, what's up in your world?
Hey, Dave, I'm doing pretty good, but I do have a question for you. I've never really been taught how to save money, and I really like to shop. So I'm wondering if you maybe have some tips for how I might be able to help with that.
Well, being a shoposaurus is like the natural state of the 20-year-old girl. And so I love it. Fabulous. Nobody is taught to save. None of us come out of our mother's womb and they go, look, it's a baby saver. That never happens. And so we all have to be taught. It is a learned skill. I'm a spender by my nature. Some people are more natural savers. And so I'm more like you are, Kim, in that I had to really work at this. And the thing that taught me to save, that enabled me to start saving, was two things. One is I had to set some goals, and I had to say, gosh, if I save up, I can buy this thing. And for those of us that like to buy stuff, that's a great way to cause you to save, is to save up to buy something. And then the second thing was I started looking at the mathematics of saving and investing. And when you start investing over the course of your life, like $100 a month invested from age 20 to age 60 is $1,176,000 in your mutual fund. You get to be a millionaire if you save. Then guess what? You learn to save. Pretty cool stuff. Hey, Kim, hope that helps you. Thanks for calling.
The only difference between saving and hoarding is not an amount. See, sometimes you look at someone else and say, well, if I had that much, I would do. Yeah, right. You hadn't been there. You don't know. See, the difference in saving and hoarding is your attitude. It's your heart. That's what Larry Burkett used to say. Some people have $10 and they hoard that. Others have 10 million and don't hoard that. See, what I'm talking about is this. You got to learn to save money. And then when you get a pile of money, whether it's a big pile or a little pile, how you treat that, your attitude towards that, tells us whether that is saving or whether that is hoarding. It kind of is like this. Here's the deal. This is the international sign of anger, the fist. And if you hold your hand open like this, even a dog understands that. See, if you hold your money like this, it will never get out. But guess what? No more can get in either. It doesn't work that way. The clenched fist is the hoarding idea. The open hand allows money to come and go, and you've got a different attitude in the way you're looking at it.